Hello, Rick Team video. Today we're going to take a look at Mantine in the Great Lake, and this time around we're actually going to take a look at a version of Mantine which I haven't really seen at all, which is going to be Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace, if you didn't know, is a pretty horrible move in general. It's a flying type charge move that is, not really the best one there. We're going to actually see a very good save up here for you, which is going to be the Lantern, which you can trap here with your grass type. This is the thing right now with Lantern. A lot of people are running Lantern in general, especially also in a safe swap position, just because they don't really expect grass types, as they're basically gone with the addition of Noctowl. But here you will be able to take advantage of this, and we also see the Noctowl coming in here as well. Going for the superpower. Is this Spanish? I'm not sure, but it should be Spanish, right? They have like those exclamation marks. I only had Spanish for like 1 year in school. I don't know if you all know Spanish, but we will be able to go ahead and go for an Ice Beam here. I think Ice Beam actually still does more damage compared to Aerial Ace, just because Aerial Ace is so bad. Why would you want Aerial Ace? For me right now, at least, I'm thinking only about the matchup against Kaiwei Chang, which is not really the best matchup, as far as I can see at least. It's not really the perfect matchup that you want to have, but still, I think it's going to be interesting if Bubble Beam would help out a little bit more. Bubble Beam is also a very interesting move, especially if you can trap someone in that. For example, if the opponent only has 1 Pokemon left, you have basically 2 Pokemon left, and you can just Bubble Beam them down, get the attack debuff there, and they cannot swap out. That's always amazing. That move there, I think, was kind of unnecessary. I don't know if this was necessary to go for the bait there, but you're going to be able to go for the Thunderbolt anyway, trying to knock out the opponent here. Getting the Thunderbolt off, and you will see that you can go for another Surf here. That actually I think was maybe mandatory to go for the bait there. Very good first game here. Let's see, they are not legend yet, so maybe you can also see what they could do differently. We see a Swampert in the lead, very good lead for you in general, because your backline as well handles it pretty well. And you can just stay in here. You should just be able to realign your Pokemon, which will allow you to have a very good matchup at the end there. The team itself is a little bit interesting, I would say, because you are, I don't know, you're kind of neutral with everything. I feel like there's not really a theme behind it. I'm not sure what like the backline is supposed to handle here. I guess your save swap will be the Lantern here, as we see. I think there was a power punch from the opponent coming through. You're going to go for the Aerial Ace. You can undercharge. You're going to give the opponent more farm against you, which is interesting, as they're going to go back into the Swampert. I wonder if Swampert can mud shot you down. That would be wild. We see the Aerial Ace coming through, doing some decent damage. Not gonna lie, like Aerial Ace is pretty cool. It's like the at least a damaging move that doesn't take as long to get to as like Ice Beam, but the opponent can farm you down because of the play that he did prior. Chestnut though, going to get some damage on them here right now, which doesn't knock them out straight away. I think this is something toxic, so it's mostly, it's Sludge Wave there. I'm just guessing the Spanish names, and we see a Skarmory in the back, which is kind of hard counter win here. Next opponent, we see a Victory Bell in the lead. There, it's very, very good that you have the Aerial Ace, because maybe people think actually here that you're going to go ahead and go for the Bubble Beam. Do they think this? I'm not sure. Let's see. They do think this, and they're going to go down here. That's amazing. They're going to have a Deoxys on the back. I made a video about the opponent's team as well, but here you can see actually where Aerial Ace is really cool. The opponent thought it was a Bubble Beam because it was clearly too fast for the Ice Beam there. And so you were able to knock them out with that, tricking the opponent. Very cool play there, as we see that you can get both shields from the opponent here. At this point of time, you should just save your shields for your Chestnut, which can just superpower through the opponent as well. And yeah, you will be able to go for one Thunderbolt here still. With 1 HP, gonna get them low. You can go into Mantine. You can just take this move, to be fair, and we see the point of shielding this. It's going to be a Psycho Boost. They're going to go for another one here. You can take this one as well. You can actually just swap out instantaneously here, and you're going to do this exactly. Perfect play so far. Kind of want to see if I can judge more the plays as well again. I started doing this more in the beginning, and I think it's a little bit better to like question some more plays here. All fine so far, going in a little bit late here, which can actually help the Noctowl flip this matchup, because Noctowl is literally busted. But under normal circumstances, you should be fine here with the Lantern. Should be able to go for the Thunderbolt now. Hopefully getting, they're going to let this move go through anyway. They can go for most likely another Shadow Ball here. Bola Sombra, is we will see that you're going to let them farm you down a little bit. This is a little bit risky here, because if you don't tap the move, as you can see there, sometimes the game just bugs. You would have got to the Thunderbolt there for sure, but Surf's still going to do some nice damage, and you can realign here, going for the Aerial Ace. But so far, you've faced a lot of good leads. I haven't seen a very bad lead yet, which doesn't really show too much here. For example, you can just hardwall the opponent. Sure, swapped out a little bit earlier, but pretty easy hard counter lead or win. Another very good lead for you. I mean, MEweedle is most likely the most common lead currently in the meta. You can just go straight for the aerial ace. The opponent thinks this is a bubble beam, and this is the cool thing about it. They're never going to shield this. This is like the cool thing, using a move that nobody else really uses on this Pokemon, allowing you to flip some matchups, and we see another Noctowl coming in. This is a very common lineup as well. They most likely have something like a Larian Stunfisk, or maybe even Trevenant in the back, which would be a little bit interesting. What else could they have in the back? There could be something like a Steel type in the back, maybe even Bastion, which would be very good for you as well. But so far you face a lot of good leads there, which helps you out for sure, which will allow you as well to get the farm down. You can go for one Thunderbolt against the most likely incoming Medicham here, which would knock them out most likely, or get them very close at least to getting knocked out. But they're going to shield this move up anyway. They can farm you down, and you can try to go for the aerial ace, but you sadly lose CMP here. You should actually going to no shield. This is going to be the Ice Punch only. Very good counting there, as you're going to undercharges here as well, which is a risky play, but I guess you want to get extra farm, and we see a Charizard in the back. This is not ideal at all. There's not a lot that you can do here anymore, I think. You're going to forfeit here as well. They can just farm you all the way down. Charizard actually won a regional recently, so maybe it's something I kind of want to take a look at again. Haven't really seen a lot of Charizard teams recently. Very cool Pokemon indeed. We see this Frenzy Plan coming through. Forgot that they would be super effective here. Maybe they don't shield this as well again. Not super effective, neutral. And yet they don't shield this because they expected you to have only the Bubble Beam yet. And we will see here the opponent having a Frostless, and they swap into a Charizard, which is even a worse matchup for them against the Lantern. So it's going to be a pretty easy game now as well again. But you face like a lot of good leads for you, which is not really telling. I really would like to see some Galarian Stunfisk, some Bastion, and how you handle those. We see the opponent going for one Blast Burn there. You can go ahead and shield up the move if you want, but they're going to let this move go through, going to rely on your Mantine, I guess, which can just one-shot this or just farm it all the way down. We see the Frost is coming through. I actually would have shielded the Lantern for sure, I think. It's just a little bit safer because you don't really want to rely on the situation that you have here right now. The opponent will be able to farm you down afterwards, and then having two moves against you might be a little bit tricky, but we will see. You should get still to a move, so it doesn't really matter anyway. So this is going to be a good game there. I think it would have been a little bit safer to just try to shield the Lantern a little bit, but it's fine. This is a neutral lead, but actually I think you also would win this lead pretty easily. We see the opponent going to a Raichi Steel. Letting the first move go through is always a smart decision here. Going to be actually the resisted move. Getting the debuff immediately is kind of annoying. 66% chance though for me when I use it. It's always like around 30% it feels like, but they're going to actually shield this move up, which does make some kind of sense here. They can go for another superpower, and I think they're still in range where you can just shield this move up and knock them out. Exactly, you're going to go for the shield, they're going to go for the focus blast, and they're going to go for another charge move before they can swap back out here because the switch clock is coming up here right now. We'll see that they're going to get low and you have to go for another move. You wouldn't have been able to farm them down in time. This matchup would have been a little bit better if you didn't get debuffed, but what can you do? What can you do? We see the Pelipper coming in here, having to take one Ice Beam, swapping out there. Don't know how necessary that was, but we see a Stunfisk now. Here's, for example, the issue that you don't have the move now, which allows the opponent to go for the Avalancha, whatever that is, Rock Slide there. That's going to do some nice damage, but you cannot really debuff them and have nothing super effective. Still, Ice Beam is neutral at least, but here it's kind of a little bit worse, I guess. You can actually still get to the move there. That's wild. And now you can rely on your Lantern, which you have to swap out immediately. You're going to stay in for a little bit, which was not the smartest decision there because the opponent got basically just more farm. They're going to bait you and they have to catch the move here. They don't catch the move, you will be able to win this game like this because the opponent cannot do anything against the Pelipper there. So like, yeah, the Pelipper will not have any chance here at all. Again, all the good leads here. Azumarill, actually you should also be able to win this one here, right? Azumarill is very good for your backline though as well, so like you don't really want to have it here. Really, you go for the charge move immediately here, which I think is right. We see the opponent going for a charge move here as well. Going to be the Play Rough coming through here. You can take two, and I think you actually win this matchup even with Aerial Ace against an Azumarill. Just because your fast move is doing pretty decent damage, while you also generate more energy than the opponent. This looks pretty solid for you so far. We can see another Excellente coming through here, as he should be able to just farm them all the way down. I don't think even they get to another move after this one here, but I'm not sure. We see the Sableye coming in. Sadly, you cannot debuff now, and you are basically at 1 HP going into the matchup here with your Lantern. Don't know which matchup is actually better. I think there was actually a return here, if I'm not wrong. But I'm not sure really, but I think it was a return that he shielded. You can go for one surf, you're gonna get them low, but maybe even the matchup against the, yeah, I forgot the name in English right now. The starter Pokemon there in the back would be better, maybe because you can resist the foul play, but still, your Lantern is a little bit bulkier, you will be able to realign your Pokemon. And we face an Altaria in the back, so this is most likely going to be a loss here, because you lost your answers for Altaria. As, yeah, Chestnut has no chance at all here, that was the name of it. It's actually also Chestnut in Spanish, that's kinda interesting. Stunfisk again, you are having finally a bad lead here, but the opponent decides to swap out immediately, going into a Trevenant, which is also a bad save swap for you. This is like the thing as well with the Lantern, I don't really like it as a save swap. If I use it as a save swap, usually with Water Gun, but generally, I actually don't know which moves is currently better for Lantern. It feels like Water Gun is way better in like a lot of neutral matchups in the 2-shield scenario, just because you do more damage with it, while the other move, like the Spark, kind of feels necessary to A, win the Mirror, and B, have like better play against other flyers like Altaria as well. So, don't know. What is the right moveset for the Lantern? I don't know either. We will see the opponent going into the Stunfisk. You can catch the move. Perfect catch here. Very nice executed. Going to be the Avalanche again, which going to result in a Noctowl coming in, which you can basically top left already. Either you get hardwalled or you hardwall the opponent in this video so far. As we see that you're going to forfeit there as well. Next opponent, Stunfisk again. At least we see some more bad leads for you, which is, I guess, a little bit fairer for the comparison for this team. Again, I'm not too happy about the save swap here about the Lantern. As well, there against Lantern, for Lantern you are better off with Water Gun against Swampert, as well as the Stunfisk there, of course. We see the Medicham going for Power Punch, which is an interesting play, as we will go ahead and go for one Surf. Gonna get the shield here already from the Surf, that's amazing. Could have went for the Ryu as well, which is mostly Thunderbolt there, but the Surf coming through first, as they're going to go for another charge move here, going to be the Power Punch again. You can get to another move maybe. Then it was definitely the correct call to go for 2 Surfs instead. Does more damage and gonna put them into range where you can farm them down with your Mantine, which you might want to shield up here just because a double buffed Psychic does a lot of damage and you're gonna go for that. Very good decision there. We will see the farm down coming through and we see the catch on the Stunfisk. This was an amazing catch here. Again, Rockside is resisted, doesn't really do too much, and we see the opponent coming into a Sableye. The Chestnut here will be able to go ahead and go for one move here that's going to get shielded, of course, but I'm pretty sure you can one-shot them with that one. Let's see what the opponent tries to do here. They're going to go for the charge move, doesn't knock you out, and you can go for another one by yourself. Meaning, though, that you are going to face now the opponent's Stunfisk here with your Mantine. But I'm pretty sure this is in range for 2 Ice Beams. You can take one move from the opponent and you have a shield. So this should be a pretty easy win now for you, as you can go for the Ice Beam here. Ice Beam coming through, let's see how much it's going to do. It's going to do around 33%. Coming in for another Ice Beam here. Going to get the knockout for sure here right now. And this is going to be a good game there. Again, very good that you also won one with a lost lead. This is a very neutral lead here. Mantine against Sableye. Let's see what you're going to try to do here. You're going to go straight for the Aerial Ace here. Actually don't know which is more energy efficient. I'm pretty sure that Ice Beam is more energy efficient than Aerial Ace. I'm going to take a look at this really quick on the side. Mantine definitely a Pokemon that's a little bit interesting, at least for that regard. We'll see the Lantern coming in, which you can hard counter, of course, as well there with your Grass type in the back. I think Grass type in the back right now seems to be a very solid play with all the Pokemon around here right now. This is definitely looking very, very decent so far for you, as we see the opponent coming in here. And you can go for a Superpower. Superpower undercharge. I think it actually would have knocked them out if they didn't shield there. That's kind of interesting. But yeah, the Ice Beam is a little bit more energy efficient than the Aerial Ace, just because Aerial Ace is such a bad move to use. But we see the Regisaur coming in here. You sadly cannot debuff them. I think the debuff would have been really cool here in this scenario, where you could have went for the debuff so the opponent wouldn't do as much damage with their Zap Cannon or their Focus Blast here. They're going to go for the Zap Cannon, and they're going to get no debuff here, which is amazing for you. This really changes this matchup here as well. You can go ahead and go for another charge move here, as they're going to shield this move up. They had to shield this move up, and I'm pretty sure you have to shield here as well. Yeah, you have to kind of shield here. Do we see another? Okay, no, this time around they're going to get the debuff, and we see the swap into the Sableye as well, I think, here, which is going to take this move from the opponent. And you're just going to go for the Aerial Ace spam against them. think you should have tried to get a little bit more energy on your lantern, but I'm not sure if that's going to matter here as well. But I think you're always fine because, yeah, the lantern always outspeeds them to the next move and they have to throw here. Unless the opponent undercharges, you should win this game pretty easily here. And they do not undercharge, so this is going to be a good game because you're always going to outspeed them here. So yeah, this was it. I think Aerial Ace has definitely some play here. Mantine looks very, very funny with that. Let me know in the comment section what you think about the gameplay here, and I see you in the next video. Bye!